What's up, everybody? This is King Mumbles. We've got Holding Court with King Mumbles. We've got a new show today. Hold on. I'm a little bit behind schedule getting stuff set up, but we've got a host, an author who luckily is in the building, who had authored a fantasy book. So it's going to be a very interesting discussion. Let me see where my headset goes. All right, so we will be bringing her in at 1 o'clock here. Ratna Chandra. She has written a book called Son of Prophecy. Prophecy. Um, I am somebody who does read um, fantasy books and everything, like Wheel of Time. Like I read the Game of Thrones, not watched the show and everything. So I am very much intrigued by the concept of it. She is a new writer. So, we'll get into, how she got into it, what's her inspirations and everything. If you are in the audience, you can definitely join us and see exactly what's going on. So let's bring her in right now. Hold on. All right, let me just try to get into the back end to bring her in. Hold on a moment there. Hello, Ratna. How are you doing?
Hi, Philip. I'm well. How are you? Thank you for having
I'm
me
doing,
on.
I'm doing all right. So thank you very much for joining me.
Likewise.
Um, I do believe that you're the first author. Like I've had, entrepreneurs, artists, fundraisers, but you're the first author that
I'm honored.
I've had on the show. So we'll start. I always start my shows off to give you a chance to introduce yourself to the people. So let them know who you are, what you do.
Sure. So, my name is Ratna Chandra, and I was born in a small village in Guyana, South America. I moved at an early age to New York, and then eventually to the Southeast Florida. So, I brought with me from Guyana, I got ancestral memory. From New York, I got the ability to survive and create my identity in a crowded world. And in the Southeast Florida, it kind of quieted the noise, and I was allowed to hear my own voice. So my
Mhm.
story is layered, kind of like from the places I've lived.
All right. So you're an author. So this is your first novel. Have you written or published other things before? Like what is your journey of being a writer?
No, this is my debut work. It is the first published book, and hopefully many more to come. But no, I'm absolutely brand new to the field of writing.
Uh, so um so how did you what got you into writing? Like were you writing as a kid, reading as a kid, or like
Sure. I think the number one factor is my endless curiosity. I've always been a very curious kid. I have a deep love for reading, and definitely, my writing was shaped by childhood memories of my grandfather's tales, the village life I grew up in, superstitions and folklores. And then later on, as I, walked my journey, I experienced a lot of pain. So this has really been an outpouring of pain in a way, but it was inspired definitely by my upbringing and my interest in reading itself.
Okay. So, the book that you wrote, it's called Son of Prophecy. It's a fantasy book, right?
Yes, it is.
Is like,
It's
if I do read fantasy, is this like a one-time book, or is it going to be a series? What's the plan?
it is so book two is in the works, and we'll see where it goes from there. Um, but definitely, it's not just limited to fantasy. It is realism um, and mysticism told through the lens of fantasy.
Okay. And what got you into the fantasy realm? As somebody who reads fantasy, like, you have some, but you don't have a lot of women that do fantasy, and you also don't have a lot of minorities that do fantasy,
Yeah,
and you sit under both.
thank you for the opportunity for bringing that into focus because the Caribbean audience definitely I've not found many fantasy women authors, but what got me into it, I think everyone has an imagination, and
Mhm.
definitely this you know it's something that either you can use in a positive way or just dismiss away. So it's to the depths and heights that you would like to explore the world of fantasy. But it's definitely not limited only to that. It has other, you know, aspects built into it.
Okay, and so what sparked the ideal for the story?
Like I said, this was an outpouring of pain in a moment of witnessing an image in a magazine that kind of broke through what I've been carrying inside in me, and I, I, with my interest and background in writing, I started putting it on paper, and it kind of took root from there and it started going forward in a positive way. It's been many years in the making. A son of mine said I should explore, writing my story. So it didn't start as a story. It started as an expression of pain, and then I decided to explore from there, and that's what it became.
Okay, and being a debut author, how did you navigate and find the experience from, writing it, in the correct format to getting it published and those type of contacts there? Like,
So
just getting.
start to finish, definitely it took some work. And I didn't write in a typical writer's way where you have a beginning, middle, and end. It was the idea, and then I kind of write many different parts.
Mm,
Um, but um, I did have a very dear friend who decided to take this forward and got a team together and got us into uh, the place it is right now. But it did also take a lot into me learning as an indie author what was involved, and that itself was a huge learning process for me from copywriting, learning about registering with the Library of Congress, barcodes, how to get onto the publishing platforms and all of that that comes with as an indie author. So it took a
Oh,
lot of
okay.
work. Mhm.
Okay, so a question I do like to ask most of the people:
Sure.
what would you say is something that you know now that you wish you knew right when you started, that would have helped your journey or made things easier? Or
Something I know now that I wish I'd known before I started. Probably the amount of work that goes into it. You can't escape that. It's everybody put it down to having a dream, but it really comes with the effort and the hours of plugging away and refining and working and reworking. And yeah, it's a lot of work. And definitely, if we had the tools that we have these days, like on YouTube, there's just so much you can learn that I didn't have before.
oh, okay. Um, who would you say are some of like your influences and like some of your maybe some of your favorite writers and stuff that you would?
I have many, but I have a bent more for the mysticism side of things. So I can give you some of those names, but in the Western literature, of course, who hasn't been influenced by you know J.R.R. Martin and J.K. Rowling, of course, the authors who write criminal works, and so Stephanie Meyer's The Twilight. So because
Okay.
that's a genre I'm interested in.
Oh, okay. So, I guess let's get back to book. So, what can you like tell us about the book? Like, I guess a basic rundown without spoiling anything. You know?
Sure. So, a little blurb about the book is that Son of Prophecy is a coming of age novel. It's a story about a young boy who is marked by divine birthright, and he's caught between a war. Between an ancient evil and the light of the realm returning. Um, it blends Caribbean folklore, village superstition, mysticism. It's a blend of all of that, um, kind of molding his character and his journey. It's about overcoming adversity, experiencing prejudice, um, overcoming resiliency. So it's a lot of things layered into his story.
Oh, okay. And who would you say the book's for? Like, who is the target market that
So
you want
definitely,
anybody,
yeah,
but
it's definitely it's young adult, but it does have a crossover appeal to adult audiences as well, and it will definitely resonate with anyone who've gone through um, adversity, trials in life, who've gone through discrimination. So it has different levels of appeal.
um, so this is the first time going through the process and getting it done and whatever.
Mm.
Um, did you enjoy the process? And like, is it something that you look like you want to continue doing, or is it like, you know what, I've done that, let's move on. Like, is it a process you found fulfilling?
Absolutely. And it had its moments. Of course, the writing was, some parts of it was written many years ago, others, as I've also journeyed in life because it's been on hold for a while. Um, I think when it became reality was when the gentleman who spearheaded this two publication took it in hand and got a team together and the work began on it. And then I realized that it wasn't just a dream anymore. So, the real work was the refining process and the number of changes that went into it to make it as polished as possible. It is something that I find gives me pleasure, and I definitely have interest in furthering it. Um, but what was uh, what was nice about it was actually seeing that it wasn't just my imagination alone, that it actually became what it is now. It's a living work.
And um, with it being a fantasy book, and from your description, like a lot of the basic ideals are stuff that are across fantasy. What would you say that makes your book different and stand out than J.K. Rowling or another book?
Well, definitely, she's on a whole other level of creativity. Mine being a brand new voice into the big industry that's there. It is a fantasy, but it is told through the lens of, or mysticism told through the lens of fantasy. So I think that that's different. And it's also, um, it takes on certain issues, real life issues, told, through. Um, village perspective through a different set of lenses that it's not reflective of only one particular region of the world. So
Okay.
it has a base where it will definitely speak with, and so if you look at it and you read it and you feel the vibe, you feel the energy from it, you'll definitely understand that it is not just another fantasy novel out there. It has substance to it that I haven't found anywhere else.
Okay. And which one of the things that they are doing with a lot of fantasy books, have you thought about or looked into translating it to like different media, like adapting it to film or television or cartoon or
That would be lovely. I don't have the means right now, so hopefully a platform like yourselves would give me that exposure because it is a different story, and I think it has the potential to become something like a series or a really nice movie. And there is a part two that is what I know is coming. I haven't seen anywhere else. It's a beautiful story. So definitely yes, if there are. Producers or anyone. I've had an opportunity to pitch a producer, but I was more focused on this work, and the financing needs to be there. So definitely, if there's anyone out there who would like to explore the idea of this going into movies or a series of some kind, I'd love to explore it. So thank you for that.
no problem. Um, what have you found to be some of your um biggest hurdles in doing it, like it promoting it, just the writing, connect, like what have you found to be the hurdles that you have faced to get this out to the world?
So one is the biggest is the marketing. There's many folks out there who is wanting to do the marketing. Um, that also comes with a set of challenges where you have to know really and truly that the person has your interest above, they're wanting to just make a fast buck. So I'd like if the marketing happens, it would have to be somebody who is truly interested in seeing it, make it, deliver it in the way that it's meant to. That's a big hurdle. Of course, financing is another one. So the right person. But the hurdle is myself learning technology and having been more on the writing side.
Mhm.
And now learning the different platforms like Instagram and TikTok and all that stuff. That is a little bit of a learning uh, process for me.
True. And do you have like specific like things that you want people to take away like from this story or get from this story, or just hope that they take what they interpret it how they do? Or
No, I think interpretation is definitely an important one, but I think that because it speaks to it would resonate with those who have experienced, like I said, adversities and prejudices, discrimination, who've suffered loss. It has resonance there, and I think folks will definitely um, appreciate the message of overcoming, because we've all gone through dark times and it's what we do with it. You can turn your pain into purpose, or you can become a victim of it. And I think the takeaway is that you can definitely gain something from having read it, or from going to read it.
Um, what was your? Because I used to do like music and poetry and stuff
Sure.
before. So as a writer, I like to know what is your writing process? Like, is it a typewriter thing? Do you just write idea? Like, what is your writing process?
So my writing process, I know I've tried going to like, let's say, a cafe, but I found that I have to be in a very quiet space. That is where I find the flow much better. So I'm probably a little different in that respect. And I don't have a set schedule of, some folks are so fixed on the idea of being disciplined, but I think in discipline lies flexibility. So my writing process is definitely I'm more of a morning person, but sometimes ideas come late at night, or maybe I might be out at the grocery stores or something. So the awareness has to kick in. And of course, if I start writing, um, I like to be in the flow. And sometimes the flow extends beyond the computer. So I can be doing an evening walk somewhere and I find the ideas come through because I'm still trying to work through some of the scenes.
Hmm, that makes sense.
Mm.
Um, k- um, you're a new writer yourself. What advice would you give somebody who might feel they have an ideal or thinking they want to do this or starting to write? What advice would you give the author that are just
Sure.
starting?
The ones that are just starting, obviously, it came for a purpose. So listen to it and don't give up on it. It might take many years. In my case, my story's, sat for almost 20 years. But definitely don't give up. Right. And whatever it takes, keep at it, and however many times it takes to get refined, and definitely explore. There's so many tools that didn't I didn't have, or I didn't know how to use before. But definitely, I would encourage them. There's a story in each of us, and if it's talking to you, it means it needs to come to fruition. So definitely stick with it.
Okay. You said that you've been doing this story, like at first you like for 20 years?
The idea
Like,
came a long time ago, yes, many, many years, and I had written it down over the years. I'd gone through many life changes, and at times it was shelved, and then it came back. It wouldn't go away, so it stuck with me. And then eventually, in the last year, was when it finally, got all together, seriously done. And it's because of the gentleman who saw the potential and decided to take it to uh, you know, publication, and getting me in order, so to speak, making sure that um, that I did justice to the story.
and what did you do to keep yourself inspired? Like on it, like how did the fire keep going through the duration of the time?
Um, so you have to be your own inspiration for sure. And that goes for even young ones out there. To the earlier message you asked, question you asked me about, for like, what would I tell, those who have a story in them? You have to be your own cheerleader. You have to be your own inspiration. And so, what keeps me going is the idea that I have something in me that I think will touch someone else in a positive way. Because we all, everybody needs somebody at some point, and there's
Mm,
definitely something in there that's it's in bud form, but it's going to blossom at some point. So when you can understand that you have worth and somebody out there may be touched by what you have to say, it keeps me going. That it's not for everybody, but definitely um, putting it in writing also helps to keep me. That is my joy.
mm,
So um, bringing that out, it's a gift, and so I take joy in writing it.
mm. All right. Um, so let people know where they can find the book, and I guess where they can find you as well.
Sure. So my website is ratna-chandra.com. The book can be found on. I'm also on Goodreads with my name. Um,
Mhm.
Instagram is moonjewelrc, and then on TikTok, they can find me at Ratna 414. The book is available on a couple of different platforms. It's on Ingram Spark, it's on Amazon, and of course the different markets that those covered. It's online at Barnes and Noble, and also it's in all three formats. It's not yet on audio, but it's ebook, paperback, and hardcover.
Oh, okay. And what's next in the plan for you is, or in what can I guess people expect from you? And
So I am working on book two, which most likely is going to be. I'm not sure about a third part, but definitely the second book is called Shades of Light, and then I'm also working on a third book, not part of this series. That's a different one. It's an urban fantasy, young adult urban fantasy. So I definitely have work that I'm doing, and for those who have either read the book or will become a fan later on, there's definitely things in the work.
okay, and lastly, so what's the a call to action? Like, of course, going and buying the book. Is there other things that people can look for to do to support the book and support the movement? Like, are you trying to do tours or uh, like I'm not
So, I
sure.
mean, I don't know about the tours. I'm definitely open if there are sponsors who would like to host, bring a pair awareness to the book and maybe book signings and things like that. For sure, I'm open to for doing that, and it's something also that I've been looking into. It recently was approved for a review at the local library here where I'm at, and definitely trying to work on getting signings at different areas, different markets. So sure, coming to a city close to you at some point.
Oh, thank you very much. I'm actually just haven't had the time, like, looking forward to reading it. Like, I've already talked to a couple of my friends because, like, we're like into the fantasy, like, books and stuff, and we always read them and this and stuff. So I was like, I'm gonna be interviewing you, and the Caribbean connections
Community.
of it and stuff, yeah, have intrigued me, So
Sure.
want us to read it and see um what it is and see if the story can catch us. So I'll let you know how I feel about that. But I thank you very much for the interview. Like, in the descriptions, I will definitely update it with all the links to your stuff so people will be able to connect with you. And I will ask when people make sure you guys go online, check out the book, buy the book. Reading is fundamental. Like, you could
Sure.
always
I'd like to. Absolutely. I'd like to give a shout out of thanks to my team who made this possible. It wouldn't have happened without them. So, for my editor, Dr. Priyanka Day, she saw my vision and she kept the story authentic. So, she didn't change that. I appreciate it. To the illustrator and layout artist, Shabir Bacha, and of course to Mariswan Selvarajan, who was the driving force to making this happen for me. And of course, I couldn't have gotten this without the opportunity you gave me today. So thank you, Phil. I appreciate what you've done for
No
me.
problem. You know,
Okay.
I I like to give shine to certain things that interest me and different. Reading is definitely one of those. So I do appreciate you giving me the opportunity to have an author on this story. And
Thank you.
all right, thank
Likewise.
you very much. All
Okay.
right, have a
All
good
right.
day.
Thank you. Bye bye.
And thank you all in the audience for coming through. Thank you, Ratna Chandra, all of that support. We'll, as I said, we'll have all that information. We also randomly do clips of the interview. And you know what? When me and my people do read it, maybe as a way to promote this interview, we might also actually go online and do a review and a discussion about the story. All right. It's called Son of Prophecy. That was Ratna Chandra. And once again, we've been holding court with King Mumbles. Let's go.